So in most cases, when you're doing real estate, or when you're in a scenario and you're learning about doing real estate, doing your own business, you'll have your case, your specific scenario, which is the one that you're going through. So what we do on a regular basis is we'll come together and discuss, and I would guide a team member through identifying their scenario. All right. If ARV is needed, so we'll talk about ARV, whatever is needed for that particular case with that particular scenario, because your scenario might be a little bit different from another person's. So we zone in on specific scenarios, and we do that on a regular basis. So the full training is usually a discussion, and we do it on a regular basis. So this video is a full training, a full discussion where my team member brings their scenario. And what you're going to see in this video is how we talk about it and help them identify, analyzing her scenario, analyzing the value of the property, the seller's true motivation, okay, what the repairs are, what the ARV is. All right. And then what I'm going to do is in the description, if you want to see the full training, just watch the whole video. There's a little story time in there. You might see that. You watch the whole video, you'll see the full training. Now, also in the description, there will be timestamps for chapters if you want to go directly to the exact topic that you want to talk about. So if you want to just see the ARV, if you want to just see the seller's motivation, all of that would be in the description. So you get to watch it or go through it the way you want. You want to look at how we train, like what's the interaction, you get to see that. You want to go to a specific topic, you get to see that. So all those things are in there in order for you to get exactly what you're looking for, because you'll need different things at different times as you're on your journey and you're doing this. And this is how we accommodate. All right, let's get into the training.
This actually was a lead I was looking at last year.
Ooh.
And this stuff didn't kind of work out, and the guy ended up went with a realtor at some point, and the realtor couldn't even get rid of it. Well, the thing is that he was too firm on his asking price, and it wasn't going to move at what he was asking for. So I was like, all right, well, if you think the realtor could push it, hey, go for it. So he ended up actually reaching out to me over this past week, and he was like, I said, hey, and he was like, hey, and so I was like, did you get your property sold? And he was like, no, I was hoping if you wanted to still help me with it. And I was like, well, sure.
Don't you love that?
I love it. I love it.
I love it too. What else happened in the conversation?
Yeah, so he reached back out to me. So the realtor had it listed at 85. That's what you're going to see on Zillow. I think it's too high, honestly, for the area. It's a multifamily, so it's an up and down 2-1, and it doesn't need a lot of work. But since I last saw it, which was back here in the summer, the house is sat vacant through the winter time now. So I don't know. But I told him so ended up what he said was, what I told him I would look at the values of the home, which is why I need a quick ARV. I think it's between 140 and 150.
What's the 140, the ARV?
Yeah, 140, 150. And so I told him, I was like, yeah, your 85, I think is still too high for my buyers that would look at it. So he was like, well, I said, what's the lowest you're willing to take for it? What do you want for it? He was like, at this point, I need to sell it ASAP, and you let me know.
Isn't that's awesome?
Yeah.
That's the motivation. That's the motivation that we live in. We live in a motivation where the seller, they just have to get rid of the properties. That's our wheelhouse. That's where we hang out. Because when we get there, like, people don't realize that happens to people. What you just said is exactly how deals happen. And I wish more people knew that. Mm-hmm. That all you got to do is wait for a person to be in a situation that they need to get rid of the house. And that's how you get your deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That's really it. Just give it time.
Yep.
So the one thing, though, is this. And I always tell this to the person, and I'm going to tell it to you as well. It's like, what's the issue of moving this house? Because you're gonna run into the same issue that everybody else had.
Right.
So do you know exactly what the problem is? Is it just the price or is it something else, you think?
So so this is what I know from last year, which is probably still basically the same. So last year he really wouldn't budge on the number. He budged a little bit, but not a lot, enough for us to get some buyers, right? And the reason being is the house is in his name, but he was in business. He had some other properties that he sold, and he was in business with some other people. So he had some partners that he needs to pay back. So he was trying to get that number so that he could pay back his partners, right? So I think now he's at the point, and I should have asked, what's changed, but I think now he's at the point where he's like, listen, I got to get this paid. He's in California. The house is in Cleveland. So, he's probably paying out people to go over, check on the house, blah, blah, blah. So he's really losing money because there's no one in there. And this has been year 2 or 3 that no one's been in there.
Okay. All right. All right. So this is the house, 85K. Let's look at the condition. So this is not listed, right? Off market. Why it looks.
So yeah, he said that his contract with the realtor was expiring. So I was going to get with him to find out exactly what that time frame is, but it should be ended it because I think he started that contract with him probably back here a little, maybe August, September.
So look, you got to tell him. One of the things is to tell him, hey, I will. The way you make money, like as a wholesaler, like you'll set a number with him, and anything you make over that, you get paid. Is this how it looks now? These pictures? Is this the condition?
Literally, I took pictures, but I deleted them all now. But yeah, that's literally how it looks. Because I went out to the house to take pictures last year.
Wow. I mean, this looks.
It's not a bad house. It does need a kitchen in both units. Bathrooms look decent. I mean, need some minor up there. Needs painting.
Where's the kitchen? So this is the kitchen. What do you mean it needs a kitchen?
So right there is, I mean, it doesn't need it just, it needs a stove or whatever. It needs repair, some repair. But yeah, that's the kitchen. I don't know if that's the upstairs unit or the downstairs unit.
So this looks like the same. No, this is one unit.
Yeah, that's one unit. And then wait, no.
It could be the same.
I think it's the same.
Is it the same? I don't know.
What you saying?
I think these are two different.
Two different ones? Okay.
I think it's, yeah, well, is it?
I think the angles are just, is there another kitchen there or no? Outside of those two?
Let me see. First floor. It's a bathroom, bedroom.
Yeah, see, that's the other kitchen, right?
Is that the other kitchen? Yeah.
Yep.
That's the other kitchen. Oh, I see. This is the other kitchen.
Right.
So, damn, a whole year. Did he get any offers?
I didn't get a chance to ask him. I was kind of moving when he texted me. So, I didn't get a chance to ask him that, but that was going to be my follow-up question. Did he get any offers? But I don't know.
This just seems, me being us being investors, it's like, what's the problem?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What's the problem? Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to live here. It looks like a decent neighborhood.
And the thing about it,
the neighborhood, from what you know.
So the neighborhood is coming up. It's like not the best neighborhood, but it's coming up. There was some new construction going on right around the corner when I went over there last summer. And then next door to it was a renovation, a 2-family. You could tell from the outside that it was renovated. So I don't know what it looks like on the inside. I don't know if I had got the address for it. But yeah, so there is renovation, people are fixing up houses. I mean, it's not the best neighborhood, but it's coming back is what I'm trying to say.
So again, let's go back to the listing. So it's still saying for sale at 85K, and it's been on Zillow only 102 days. So this 102 days is only 3 months. And is this the same?
I want to say it is the same realtor, but I don't know that he even had it on Zillow like when he first got it, like when they went under contract. So I'll ask about that. But yeah, I think that is the guy though.
Right, and then you got 1,000 views and 76 saves. So then that's the thing. It's the chaos. Like, what's the issue? Because the same issue that this person is having, you're gonna run into it.
Right.
And it says no wholesalers, no seller financing, no lowball offers. So that alone,
The advertising.
yeah, that alone is already looking for your next BURR opportunity. Currently vacant the property. New PEX water lines. Let me see. And what exactly did he say again about the realtor? The realtor's out.
Yeah, he said his contract was ending with him.
Okay, full service, easy highway access, short drive to downtown Cleveland. Full service property management is available. Really? Who's doing that? With dedicated departments for leasing, maintenance. This is an incredible opportunity to grow your portfolio. Grow your portfolio and build value from the ground up. Real estate is the vehicle, man. This is it. This is your beginning to wealth building, as most people would say. All right, let's see what it's worth. You said 140?
Yeah, about 140.
Oh, it's right next to the water. It's cold. It must be cold. I look at it must be cold over there.
It is. Off the lake.
Oh my goodness. But there's a lot of activity. Hunt me, there it is.
Mhm.
So you got 124, 1,700 square feet. Hold on, home type. I gotta put multi. I'll take out houses. They're all 2 units, right? 135. You got 135. That's 3,000 square feet already. That's bigger. Because you're 1,700. 135, 1,900. You got 125, 1,500. This looks like your comp right here. 125, 133. This is 72. Oh, sorry. 129, 137. This is a 5 bed. This looks like fully renovated. So I see 135. This is 5 beds. You're 4 too, right? 130.
Yeah, two up, two down, and one.
2-1. I call it a 2-1 over a 2-1. So you're 130, 130. So you're 130 all day. What did
Yeah. What you say? This one was 130, around 130. The for the ARV.
and his repairs is
So that's why I had you look at the pictures. What do you guys think? I was a little. I know it needs that. I mean, I don't know. What do you?
all right, I'll do a whiteboard real quick.
Yep, kitchen.
You got it, 2 kitchens. You gotta do both kitchens.
Mm-hmm. Bathrooms. I mean, they're not horrible, but they definitely need work.
Bath and then a bath. So 2 baths.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
The hardwood floors were good. I think it's just the carpet that needs to come up. So I don't know what that is, but I can't remember. I think windows were good. I think his roof was good. Definitely painting, which he doesn't show in these pictures, but definitely paint.
Paint the whole house. He got some exterior work.
Yeah, exterior wise, he does need painting, or I don't know, siding painting on the outside. And
Yeah, he needs some siding.
well, there is some unevenness,
Evenness.
unevenness in the driveway on the concrete. But yeah.
All right, so repairs, we got kitchen, bath, floors, paint, exterior siding, driveway. Let's get some numbers for this. And then we could kind of figure out the repairs. Each kitchen, those kitchens don't look crazy, but I want to give them
Mm-hmm.
10K a kitchen. That might be a lot. The bathrooms are always a little less. They're not that big.
Mm-hmm.
House, right? 7K. 7K each. So floors, you're probably looking at 5K for the floors. Paint, you got to paint the whole house. That might be about 3K. That's a big house. Exterior, depending on how much siding you got to fix, that might be another. It could be exterior with siding, could be another 10K. And in this driveway situation, that could be about 5K. Could be, depending on how much. And then let's just add another, 10K.
About 10K, yeah.
All right. So what's that? That's about 70. I got 67. So this repairs, because it's not bad, but because it's 1,700 square feet, I think 70K is safe, which is why at 85 plus,
he's not getting it.
that's why a fix and flipper or an investor won't buy it.
Yep.
Well, that's why, but then there's no equity. But the other thing is, what about just renting it out? What's each?
So that would be the investor I actually would look for, is someone who would want to rent it out, because that is a rental area.
Right.
And I think that an investor who rents it out is going to get more than someone who goes in there and fix and flips it.
What's the rent? Do you know?
Uh,
Jennifer says she likes that one. I like it too. I think it'd be easy. I think it'd be a nice, easy one. Let's go rent a meter.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it'd be easy too.
Yeah, right. We see harder stuff than that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that is, I like your avatar, Kim.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nice.
Big Ron hooked me up.
Yeah, he hooked you up. That's cool. The only thing that it is why he couldn't sell it for the year.
Yeah, that's my thought, especially having a realtor on it as well.
Yeah, it's just like, if you got problems, there's a problem.
So according to Monitors, it seems like he was just being stubborn and not willing to negotiate on the price to get rid of it.
That's what it seems like.
And he had, like I said, he had other partners, because even when I was telling him, listen, if we could get it here, we'd be able to do something. So he's like, well, let me go back to my partners and ask. So I think really it was more so his partners.
But,
right, because he owes them money. Though the house is in his name, somewhere they, I guess, partnered up and, did some stuff together, or maybe gave him the money.
Right, so he has to get a certain number.
Right.
Trying to get that number.
Right,
okay.
exactly.
All right, that's cool. All right, so buy and hold 2-1. So let's do this. I'm just looking at 900 a pop. 900 a pop. So that's 18. Let's do it. All right, so let's put this in. I got 85. I'm gonna put the regular number, 85,000. Is that the number he wants?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right,
but
cool. Yeah, I'll just put these numbers in. Let's see. So your buy and hold renter is gonna want this. I think they could probably do. So we already know why it's tight for the fix and flipper, because we already looked at that, right? At the 85. So the problem, your fix and flipper, he got to come down. So let's see what it's looking like for your buy and hold person. I don't think it's a lot.
So property taxes for 2024 says, is this right? 1914?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, 1914. Mm-hmm.
1900 for the year. So insurance on a property like this, a month, I figured it's probably like 1,500 for the year. 125. I'm giving estimates just on insurance. Might be $3,000, maybe 15. I'll say two. Let's say 2,000 for the year divided by. So 120, 125 is good. Gas and electric, you wouldn't have that. You probably have common areas, so I give you 50.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I give you $50 a month for your common. You're gonna run the furnace, right? And then the furnace has its own electric, so it might be 100. So anything you're running in the basement, the heat, uses some type of electricity. So that's where you probably gonna get some more electric. So it'll be 100. So besides the common area, you're just running the heating. Even though they pay for their own heating per apartment, you still have, they're not paying for the running of the heat, but you could probably work that out. But I figure 100. Your
Okay.
water's probably gonna be 75 because I don't know how Cleveland works, but usually you gotta pay the water because they won't get a water bill. The water bill comes to the owner. The garbage, you figure the tenants got to deal with that, right? So I'll make that a dub 0. Lawn and snow, if you got to pay somebody, usually the tenants, but that's not $100 a month. Wait, how much landscaping did it have? Did it have a lot of land around it?
No, not a lot. Just, the front. Not a huge backyard at all. So not a lot.
I'll put $50 a month. Let's keep it at 10%. And vacancy, well, vacancy, well, we should keep vacancy somewhere. Let's do 10%. I don't know. Is the rental market in Cleveland, how good or bad is it?
Oh yes, it's good. It's a huge rental market in Cleveland.
The huge rental market.
Mhm.
So we'll keep it at 10%, whatever. Maintenance 10% because it's a big structure and it's old. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna have maintenance. All right, down payment here, interest rate on a 2-unit, closing costs on that amount might be $3,000, maybe less. I'm gonna give you $3,000 on closing. Closing might not even be that much. All right, so what that does right there, it gives you, let me make it bigger. So for your rental property owner, if you want to take a screenshot of this, you'll be able to get them a cash flow of about, it says about 200, but that's after reserves, right? 192. Just figure out the taxes, what insurance is, how much. I put owner paid utilities, I put 225. That number might be lower. Vacancy reserve is 180 a month. Depends on how strong the market is. It might go down to 5%. And maintenance reserve, definitely leave that the same. If you don't have a problem getting tenants, then your vacancy, might go lower. But if you keep those numbers, everything else here is the same. If the person gets a loan, if they get a loan, there it is, right? Monthly mortgage, and there's your net. So they still have some type of cash flow, but that's at 85,000.
And we didn't include the repair costs in there though, right?
Oh no, we didn't put repair costs.
Yeah.
No, we didn't put repair costs. So they would have to add that. We didn't put repair costs. I mean, not putting the repair costs, it's fine, but then would they buy it at 85K? Because it's not yet, because you can't just buy it and go in.
Right, exactly.
So then that's why the renter, that's another reason why the renter wouldn't pay 85, because now they have to spend more money on repairs.
You mean the investor wouldn't pay
The
85?
investor, yeah,
Right.
the
Exactly.
rental property investor.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
there's your second problem, which is at
Yep.
85, even if somebody
Too
wants to
high.
come in, yeah, it's too high. Because like you said, they're like, oh, but I gotta fix it to make it rentable. So if I gotta fix it to make it rentable, it's gonna cost me even more. Yeah.
And we talked about 70K in repairs, right?
Yeah, on average, 70K to make it nice. If we're gonna make it look like these other homes, so let's take a look at the other homes that were nice. I didn't look at their pictures. We saw the subject property pictures, so we saw our pictures, your pictures, what it looks like. But let's see. I mean, I think the 70 is about right. But let's see so 135,000. No, that was too big. Let's go 136. Where's 125? No, it was on this one, 137. So let's look at this one. What would it take to make this one look like this one? If I said that English right. All right. I think I did my English all right. So this one sold for 137. Now, they did work. So they did exterior. Well, it doesn't look like it because these gutters look like trash. They did a little bit of exterior. They didn't fix the gutters. If I zoomed in on the gutters. Let's go. They did some work right here. Yeah, they did some work on this entrance.
Does it matter that that's brick on this one and there's no brick on the other one, the subject property?
I don't know if the brick or no brick makes a difference in Cleveland. It might. But again, you see next door is all siding and this one is brick. I think the numbers are the same.
Okay.
It doesn't look like brick or no brick does a huge difference. I think the numbers are going at, we're still around 130, 135. Someone might like it more than another person. Again, look at the interior, right? Nice floors, definitely paint. You got to paint. You know, you don't got to go crazy. You could paint the original, but you definitely have to paint and get nice floors going. Yeah, see?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You may not have to gut it, but you definitely have to paint the walls, make the walls look nice, smooth out the walls. You got to smooth these walls out. That's a lot of labor, and you got to get nice floors. You just can't go without nice floors. So it looks like this is all the original house, but they smoothed out the walls and they worked a lot on these walls. That's a lot of work on these walls. See, they didn't even go crazy in the kitchen. Like the kitchen is basic,
Yep.
but they did the floors and they put basic cabinets. These are off the rack cabinets. They could have put a better sink there at least. Come on. This the $10 sink in Home Depot. It's like $20 for this sink. And that's Formica. See, they just painted the floors. This is 130. Yeah, they didn't go crazy. And this sold for 130,000. Bathroom, they just did the floors. And it doesn't look like they went crazy. They just repaired it. Look at this. You see around, oh, I lost it. You see around the tub, it was looking crazy. Like right around here, this area right here. Hold on. This just looks like repair. Yeah, that just looks like repair. The way they did this, maybe you could go a little under, maybe 50,000, 60 for repairs. Either way, it's still on top of that purchase price. It doesn't make it what they did to it. Oh, God. There it is. Back to listing. Let's look at another one. And this one has a garage. And it's
the subject has a garage.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. And this one is slightly bigger. The subject is 1,700.
Yeah, this one is slightly bigger, but it's still the same price. Look, yeah. 134. It's like that's what they're paying over there. Right? Even for a bigger house. Another reason why he probably has to come down, because I can get a bigger house for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the house, if this house at 2,300 square feet sold for 134,000 and he's 1,700, that's even more reason why his number has to come down.
Right.
And they don't have a bunch of pictures. They didn't go crazy. We don't got a bunch of pictures. And look at this kitchen.
Oh boy.
Well, it's rental property. Look at that.
That's true.
Where's the count? Oh, the counter's on the other side. Yo, it's really bad when you don't have counter next to your stove. Like, how do you cook and do stuff? Your stove next to your fridge, like, where's the counter space next to your stove? Like, where you gonna put the pot after you finish or when you're cooking and stuff? So the design is bad. That's probably why they didn't pay that much. Because you got to redo that kitchen. All right. I can see why he's having a problem with the 85,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah. His number's too high.
Yep. So
what do you think he's willing to take?
Because even if we want, $60K in repair,
mm-hmm.
and at ARV at 130, so we're at 70K right there for equity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so oh man,
he got to say like 40.
I'm seeing like 50, 55, like to sell that.
50, 40, 50. Yeah, I'm seeing the same number.
40, 50. Yep. So that's like $40,000 below
That's
what
half of what he wants.
right.
No wonder he didn't sell it.
Yep.
Nobody wants to pay 85,000 for that. And then the BURR strategy wouldn't work because you see how the I'm gonna share my screen.
The realtor.
Yeah, you see how the realtor is advertising BURR,
Yep.
but the BURR don't work.
Yep.
No equity.
Yep.
In any BURR strategy, you need equity because it's cash out. It's a refinance.
Right.
Right? It has to cash flow, and you got to have enough equity to cash out. So if you're advertising a BURR strategy for an investor, hey, if you get this rental, you could refi cash out on this rental to make it seem perfect. Even if you don't have a lot of cash flow, you can cash out. So that's really how the BURR works. Okay, let's say people talk about the BURR strategy, buy, refinance, repair, rent, refinance, and repeat. The thing about the BURR strategy is you still need equity. So if you're doing the BURR, you still need equity in the property because basically the BURR is a refi cash out. Right? So if you don't have room to refi or cash out, then the BURR can't work because there's no equity. And what you're saying about a BURR is that what you're saying is, hey, even if you don't cash flow that much, even if you get like $100 cash flow, as long as the rent is paying the mortgage, you just cashed out, 20, 30, and there's your cash. And then basically the property has very little cash flow. The BURR justifies low cash flow. That's what it's doing. It's giving you a reason to purchase the property without that much cash flow. Now, the thing is, if we look at our rental, we did it over here, which is right here. So if you look at our rental, the monthly net is only $191, right? So this is cool if we got equity, but at the sale price of $85,000, there's no equity. Like, we'll take this if we can refi, and that's his problem. A BURR person will take this if you can refi. So what it is this sale price has to come down. Let's see what happens if we put it to the number. Let's do 40,000.
Okay.
Let's do 40,000. Let's see what happens. So 40K would give us, let's say you buy it at 40,000. Right? Wait, you gotta put your number in there. So what you want to make? 10K or 5K?
Let's go with 5.
Okay, so 45. All right. So let's say 45. At 45, that might work because let's say 45, they buy it. Let me go to, where's my whiteboard? So at 45,000, then you can add you could do minimal repair. You can do about 50, 60K. So then that will bring you to total 85,000 you're in. Then you have room to refi as well, plus your closing costs and all that. So yeah, 40, 45, 50 max, that's the number. Because if we do the numbers really quick, right? So we got an ARV of 135, right? That's our ARV. And if we're doing it fast, at an ARV of 135, that's our value, right? If you purchase price at 45 and you got repairs, you put 60K in, right? What's that? 105? Let's say 100K all in. Then you got closing and holding, right? Let's make that, damn, that's still tight. Closing and holding, it wouldn't be that much. Maybe another, even if it's 20K, 10K, you're still at 110. That makes it tight still.
Still tight.
It's still tight.
They would still have a
45.
They would still have a cash flow though, probably, right?
Yeah, but it's the repairs. How much it's how much repair. That's why they didn't do a lot of repairs on the other one. So the repairs is really what it is too. and this actual purchase price. It's the type of house where you have to have a budget of $50,000 and no more for your repairs. $50K for the repairs. And then right here, you're at 95. It's still tight, but you got to let him know that he could only, in order to make this work, he got to take 40 grand. The most.
Yeah.
Maybe 50 if somebody feels they can make it work. But really, it's looking like, you know, based on his numbers, he's looking at, he got to take seller, got to take about 40,000. Yeah, man.
That's what I thought.
So now this is the problem, and this is what scares everyone, right? Let me go back. Let me share my screen. So if you look at it on Zillow and you see it's for sale and you read this, it's going to scare you. It's going to be like, there's no deal here.
Yeah.
Because immediately they already taken the people, you know, that no wholesalers, no seller finance, and no lowball offers. The problem is you're advertising your next BURR, but the BURR doesn't work. So I would challenge the realtor. I'll be like, look, show me how the BURR works. Show me how that works at 85,000. It doesn't. It does not work. Everything else is sexy, right? Duplex, vacant, updates, packs, new mechanicals, Waterloo Art District. All of this is cool, but just your first sentence is your problem.
Yep.
Your first sentence is your problem because the BURR doesn't work at 85,000, and there's no money unless the seller takes around 40K. Other than that, there's no bread for anybody coming in unless somebody just wants to live there. And I guess that was an issue because the person that wants to live there, they still have to fix the property as well.
And so I just have to go back in and let him know.
How you gonna break it to him?
Got to think about that one.
You know, the funny thing is, he would have to see this.
Yep.
You know, like he'd have to see this to see. You'd have to explain this to him.
Yep.
In terms of numbers as to why he can't sell this property for more.
Oh.
And he's also advertising even more stuff for investors, which is also the reason why he hasn't sold it. I'm gonna show you. So the disconnect is that they're advertising one thing, they're targeting investors and they don't want investor numbers. That's the other part.
Yep.
This whole thing is targeting investors. And then they don't want investors because an investor is not gonna pay 85,000. They're not gonna pay 60. They're not gonna pay 70. They're not gonna pay 60. The right number for the investor is the number that we just put on the board. 40, max 50 if they can work out the repairs. Like sometimes the repairs could be a little less and they do, you know, they got themselves they got their own little Jose or their little contractor that can make it a little cheaper for them. So.
And I think that's the way I'm gonna go in. He's an investor himself, so like, you know, is this a property you would currently buy, like, based on where it is right now? So
we looked at a rental. We looked at why what the issue was as to why the seller couldn't sell the property before, and why the seller contacted Fatmata to help him out. So now she has to go tell him the ugly truth about the property or whatever he has a hard time facing, right? And a lot of times people, you know, when you have expectations and you have needs, it's hard to face the reality of certain things, right? When you have needs. I got needs, but the reality is you could only get this much from even though you have needs. Like you could bring your needs all you want. Like the world doesn't care about what you need, what you want. It is what it is. And sometimes it's hard for a person to swallow that because they have needs. What did he buy it for? Let's look at that. Last thing. before we go, right? I'm gonna share my screen. Let's look at what his purchase price was. So that's another thing, because now, okay, I gotta sell it for less, but then I gotta lose money too. That's hard to also swallow. Let's see how much he paid for it. I mean, look at these numbers. When did he buy it? Oh my goodness, look at this. Y'all see this?
Wow. Yeah.
How long has he had it?
Gosh, I can't. He told me, but again, that was last year. I can't remember.
Yo, since 2022, whatever he got it for. Here's the number, 50,000 in 2016, right? Whatever he got it for, he's been trying to sell it since 2022, 110. There was a pending sale, it didn't happen at 110, didn't happen. Another listing for sale at 95. Then it changed to 85 and it didn't happen and went down. Listed for sale, then he dropped the price. Then the price went back up in 2022. Listing removed in 2023. Listed for sale for 129,000 again. Contingent. Oh, so he's going through potential buyers that didn't close. Listed for sale at all right, contingent, and then the contingency didn't happen. Oh, he's been going through it for longer than a year. Price change again, 119. Listing removed. Oh my goodness. Listed for sale at 109. Somebody was going to get it at 109. It didn't happen. They put it back for sale, 109. Listing removed. Oh my gosh. Listed for sale again at 109. Listing removed. Listing for sale again. Listing removed. 2024. 2025. Listed for sale 109. Listing removed 3 months later. He's going through people. You know what I'm saying? He's going through people. Pending sale at 8. Yo, he had a pending sale in December for 85,000 and it didn't happen.
I don't know about that.
That's why he's here. Let's see. Let me go iOS. Let's see what he paid for it. Because that, like, the thing is, and you feel bad for a person. It looks like he's been trying to sell this property since 2022. That's 4 years and can't get it done. Let's go to iOS real quick. But now you know what you're looking for. Remember, you're never looking for a house. When you're buying when you're doing real estate, this is why you don't look for houses. You look for people who went through stuff like this. And then you come in and be like, look, I could save you. You've been having problems for 4 years. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you why you're having your problems. Check this out. So, well, it's been investments. I think he took it out of his name. Is that the right? 6111. Yeah, he took it out of his name.
Okay. What did he say?
It says BIN Investments LLC. Well, let's see. Let's look at the.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, BIN Investments bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it is. What's his name?
Oh gosh.
Is it Saeed?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
All right, so check it. This is what happened. I'll tell you what he did. He bought it for $39,000 in 2013. And then right around here, I think he did a little cash thing and he sold it to his company for $50,000. I think if he still owns it, then this is his company. And these are his partners. So this is what happened. I think he got his partners to come in and he cashed out saying he could sell it for more to pay them back. You see what I'm saying? So if he got it for 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got some partners and they all in this LLC right here. And then he cashed out on the sale to pay them back on the resale. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So BIN Investments is his partners probably.
Makes sense.
So that's the thing. He got to give them back maybe 50 grand.
So he's gonna lose out.
He got to give him 50 grand. That's why he can't sell it for 50 or he can't sell it for 40 because he's still gonna owe them. He bought it here. He sold it for 50. He cashed out about 10K, and then he
he swore he was going to sell it for 100 or 80 or whatever. He was going to sell it for more. He's trying to sell it for more than 50.
Yep.
So that he could pay these people back.
Yep.
And at least not lose.
Yep.
Because he probably owes them 50 and then whatever other monies they gave to help them fix it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He probably owes them 50 plus some more bread. And that's why he hasn't taken the 50 grand. And he's perplexed. He's like, damn, why can't this property sell for like 80,000? And that's why. We see why. And investors get caught like that all the time. But you see that the thing is, you can't see that. He probably couldn't see this going in back in 2016. It's hard to see things like this, to look at the market. You got to be in it, experience. You got to do your numbers over and over again. You got to watch the market. You got to be educated. So he lesson learned for him, but he's just learning by doing. And he's probably going to have to lose some money, work it out with his partners.
Yep.
So there's his issue.
Thank you. That was good. That was real good.
Cool. All right, y'all. Good stuff. Good stuff. I hope this training helped you. I hope you hanging out with me today helped you. Thank you for making this part of your day.
This part right here coming up, thanks for watching. This part right here coming up is how I usually start the meetings, with a little music and a quick story time. All right, so if you want to see how we usually start our meetings, you get to see it right now. All right, enjoy.
Sometimes I just want the music to just keep playing. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. Those songs, they're old, they're classics or whatever, but they just remind you, like what they was talking about is, whatever happens, right? The sun still shines, right? Even whatever you're going through in life, whatever problems you're going through, whatever issues you're having, you know what I'm saying? Like, things are still happening. Like, the beat goes on regardless. Even after something happens to you, the day that we're no longer here, like the beat's still gonna go on. Life goes on. You know what I'm saying? My favorite part is just like fishes in the ocean, there'll always be someone new. You know what I'm saying? Just like fishes in the ocean, there'll always be someone new. Before I met my queen that I'm with now, I had other girlfriends. And I remember my first heartbreak. If you remember your first heartbreak, I remember my first heartbreak. I swore I was never going to recover. Like, I would never find another person. I swore I would never be in love again. It's painful crying over you women. Y'all cause pain to a guy, especially young guys. Y'all be causing pain, man. Like, it's painful. But then what happens? You meet somebody new. You get over it eventually. I don't know if I've ever broke a person's heart. I might have. I think I broke my first son's mom heart. I think so. In theory, maybe I might have. She was a little hurt that I didn't want to be with her. My first son's mother. But she got married anyway. She found somebody new. She got married and had a couple more kids. She got over me eventually. She's giving me a hard time, though. When my son was young, let me tell y'all a quick story. Yo, listen, co-parenting was tough. I was around, like, in my 20s. She was already moved on, right? So 25, 26, 27, 28, those years, right? She got herself a husband, and I'm trying to co-parent with her. It was tough. She was in another state. She was giving me a hard time. I'll never forget. It was usually on Christmas. So I celebrate Christmas. Those of you that don't, but you understand, Christmas is a holiday for me, right? So I celebrate Christmas. And usually what'll happen is he'll do Christmas Eve with his mother, and Christmas morning, And then what I would do is I would drive and pick them up during the afternoon, like, after they open up all their gifts, 3 o'clock, 4 in the evening. And then what I would do is I would go pick up my son, and then I would do Christmas evening / night with me and my family. So we wouldn't open any gifts because he was still young, right? So he's still a kid and Christmas is big. So he would do Christmas with his mom in the morning, and then I would go pick him up in the afternoon, and then he would do evening / night with us. We'd do Christmas night with my son, right? And one time, she literally changed her mind on me. She was like, nah, pick him up tomorrow. I'm like, what? What you mean pick him up tomorrow? This is what we do. Like, this is what we do. That's what I do. I come pick him up. I pick him up around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock even. And then, he'll stay with me and then we'll do our thing. She was like, nah. She said, you be all right. Come get him tomorrow. I said, but it's not Christmas tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 26th. Like, we got our gifts. We got gifts and stuff. Like, we're not opening them. Like, how we opening our gifts? We waiting for him. Like, at the time, you figure my son, he was my only child, right? So my son is to my mom and everybody. So he's like, the star of the family because he's like, like how Riley is. You know what I'm saying? Riley and my daughter, So, man, and I'm arguing with her on the phone. I'm like, yo, you can't do that. You called her names. I didn't call her 2 bad names, but I was like, yo, I'm on my way. She was like, he's not going nowhere. I was like, yo, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And I'll never forget. And then I didn't go because it was like, what was I going to do? I didn't go pick him up. I picked him up the next day, but it hurt me. I talk about it, but it hurt me real bad that she did that she decided to do that. She thought it wasn't a big deal. She was like, cause I don't know, I guess they had plans or they were going to do something. They're not thinking about me. I'm not their family, right? And she has other kids, but she didn't want me to come and break up that one time. I'll never forget, man. I mean, I was all right, but you see, I still carry the scar. I still have the scar a little bit. I carry the scar just a little bit because it changed how I look at people. And that's why when my lady now, when she got pregnant, I was like, I'm not doing the baby daddy thing. I'm not doing the visiting. We're gonna work this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming to visit my daughters. I'm not picking them up. I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. So I made that decision early and was just like, whatever goes on, we gonna work. We gonna make this work. Because I'm not picking up my daughters. I'm not gonna pick them up on the weekends and do all that. Like, unless it gets really bad, but I figured it can't be that bad.
All right, that was story time. If you stood around for story time, that means you rock with me, you my peoples, which is great. And again, in the description, there will be links to the exact spots that you want to go over, because it's important to practice these things. You're going to be able to practice ARV often, practice different scenarios, because this game, this real estate thing, is really about people and their situations. What makes a person motivated to sell? If you're ever motivated to sell something, it's because you either want to get rid of it or you want money. So we usually look for a person who has a reason to want to get rid of a property. And that's usually where discounts are found. And what you will understand is to get into a reason a person wants to do something. So it's a little psychology involved in real estate investing, like why a person is doing what they're doing to make them want to get rid of this house or things like that.